Yeah, no kidding.
Is not contagious.
All right, it is 6 o'clock, so we will get going. Good evening and welcome to this Tuesday, April 15th, 2025 meeting of the Raymore Planning and Zoning Commission. If you would, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, jump into roll call. I don't see Commissioner Bowie. Commissioner Smith?
Present.
Looks like Commissioner Harrison's absent. Vice Chair Pfizer?
Present.
Secretary Peterman? Commissioner Shanks?
Present.
Commissioner Urquia?
Present.
Mayor Turnbow?
Present?
And I am here, so that will make it 7 this evening. We have no personal appearances scheduled, so we'll move right on to item 5, our consent agenda for this evening. We have one item, the approval of minutes from the March 18, 2025 meeting. Entertaining a motion to dispose of this item, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Kia, second by Commissioner Smith to approve the minutes. Any discussion of the item? Seeing none, all in favor? That will pass unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. No unfinished business this evening, so we'll move right along into item 7. We have 2 items. The first item for new business is Timber Ridge final plat. Do we have an applicant, or will the city be presenting the case this evening?
Go ahead and open it up with the applicant, and then we'll follow up with the staff
Beautiful.
report.
If the applicant would please come for Timber Ridge final plat.
Sean Siebert, 1813 Southwest Fountain Drive. Good evening. We're up for final plat this evening. I think David's going to give a presentation that'll cover a lot of the project that's before us. If approved, our timeline on it is to get going within the next 30 days. So we pretty much have everything in place to get going. So we'll be available for questions, and I'll turn it over to David. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Siebert. Staff?
All right. Good evening, Mr. Chair and fellow commissioners. Before you this evening is a planning application for the Timber Ridge final plat. An application was filed requesting final plat approval of Timber Ridge, including 35 two-family residential lots making up 70 total units and 2 tracts of land. The property is located generally north of Johnston Drive between Dean Avenue and Darrowby Drive. Currently, it's zoned R2 single and 2-family residential district. Just kind of past planning action back on October 14th of 2024, the rezoning occurred, changing the property from R1P to the R2 designation, as well as approving the preliminary plat application for this Timber Ridge subdivision. That was approved by the City Council. Just some comments from staff here, from the planning and division. So the street names that are listed on the final plat are currently not in conformance with the city street naming policy, and it also conflicts with some existing street names. So right now the applicant is revising those street names and are going to resubmit to the city just some minor deviations that will occur there in terms of those street names. But we'll get all those shored up prior to the final plat being recorded with the county, so that shouldn't cause any issues with Planning Commission or City Council if those aren't there at that point. So just wanted to make mention of that. And then on the Public Works and Engineering side, Johnston Drive was constructed as a GO bond project. However, the project did not include any sidewalks or streetlights at that time. This project will fully complete the stretch of street there on Johnston, so that'll be adding sidewalk connections on the north side of Johnston Drive, as well as adding streetlights along there too. And then secondly, there'll be some stormwater improvements that will be tied into this project that will help manage stormwater there in that immediate area that the development will also be taken care of. So with that, staff recommends that the Planning Commission accept the proposed findings of fact in forward case number 25009 Timber Ridge final plat to the City Council with recommendation of approval. And we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, sir. Commission, any questions of either the applicant or city staff? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Real quick before I do that,
Yes, sir.
do we need to make a condition the street names, or are we good the way it's currently presented?
The street names were one of the conditions that they are currently working on, so staff has taken care of that. They actually sent a few street names in today. I think we'll be okay without conditioning the approval of that.
Okay. Then with that, I would like to make a motion that we accept the staff proposed findings of fact in forward case number 25009 Timber Ridge final plat to the City Council with a recommendation of approval subject to the two conditions listed.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Got a motion by Commissioner Kia, second by Vice Chair Feiser for the Planning and Zoning Commission to accept the proposed findings of fact in forward case number 25009 Timber Ridge final plat to the City Council with a recommendation of approval, including the two subjects as outlined. Any questions or discussion of the motion? Seeing none, all in favor? That will also pass unanimously, 7-0. Thank you. Moving right along, we have a second item on our agenda tonight, which is the Hibner Acres Lot 1B rezoning C2 to C2P. Just real quick before I jump into that, my understanding is that we will be continuing that item. Mr. Zur, for purposes, do we open the public hearing and continue, or just continue since the public hearing was not properly advertised?
No, you don't need to open the public hearing at this particular point. My position would be that it's not properly notified or published for purposes of the public hearing.
Perfect. So we will continue that. Do we need any particular action from you, just notification of
I don't
continuation?
know if staff was interested in the prospect of setting a specific date certain for its continuance.
I had seen the communication,
The
I
memo.
believe that was
We
to the
did
May 6th.
We did re-advertise it with the paper. As explained in the memo, they published the same thing twice and forgot to include this in the paper like staff had sent to them, and so we have already republished that on a different timeline. So the date for the first meeting in May is when we'll come back with that item for the commission's review.
In which case, the motion to continue would be to that date specific.
Okay, so looking for a motion to continue this item until our next meeting, which is
Our
May 6th,
2025.
2025.
That's correct.
So moved.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, so fair enough. So I have a motion by Commissioner Kia, second by Commissioner Smith to continue this item until our May 6th, 2025 meeting. Good enough, sir?
Very good.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of continuance? That will also pass 7-0. Thank you. So we are just cruising right along. That will then take us, let's see, make sure I've got my packet up here. So this will, Mr. Zur, right back to you, sir, for the city council report.
Very good, Chairman. Two meetings to report on from since the time of the last Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on March 18th. First item is going to be from the March 24th meeting of the City Council. During the course of that meeting, there were a couple of items of interest for the Planning and Zoning. First and foremost, it was the second reading of the cancellation and removal of the Whitetail PUD. So you all saw that, and I think I explained that during the course of the March 18th Planning and Zoning Commission. So that is now finalized. They are back to the original, or identifiable as the original zoning. Also included on that agenda was the purchase of 317 North Jackson Street by the city. So if you're familiar with the area, that is going to be purchased by the city, and Mr. Gress, I believe, is working on the closure of that particular item. And then the first reading of the Raymore Commerce Center South Chapter 100 bonds for building number 5. So you all have been involved in the Commerce Center South development, and they are going to have Chapter 100 bonds issued for the construction of their next largest building out there. Next meeting that we had was April 14th. During the course of that meeting, it was the declaring of the election results and swearing in of our council members and mayor again for another term, making 10 years of service as mayor and many more outside of that for service in other capacities. So much congratulations to the mayor and the other council members who were reelected to serve those roles. That would conclude my report.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mayor, as always, anything to add to his report?
Nothing to add other than, in conjunction with that election, we also passed a tax for public safety, which will mean a lot for this community. I'm just telling you, it's much needed, and rather than us reacting to things, we'll be able to be more proactive. We'll have a better presence on the streets and an ability to investigate other issues as they come about from time to time. And excited about the future for the PD and the city.
Thank you, sir. When does that tax go into effect? I don't know if I ever
Goes
saw.
into, they start collecting 1st of July, correct?
Right, but we
So-
won't see anything from it until the
Till
beginning of
first
the
July.
next quarter, so
Yeah.
November?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's
November.
October, yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Moving along to item number 9, our staff report. Mr. Gress.
Thank you, sir. Within your packet this evening was a department report for the month of March. Just a couple things to highlight. We did wrap up the month of March with 12 permits, which brings us up to 35 single-family permits for the year. You can see in that table compared to where we were in 2024, we're pretty far ahead from last year, so that's really good to see activity picking back up in some of our subdivisions. A lot of work going on out there. And then in terms of building construction, I wanted to highlight something I pointed out to the council last night. The Quilted Cow, which is a retail business on the east side of town, they took over an old insurance office building about a year or so ago. Did some pretty substantial improvements to fix it up and turn it into their retail location. They were the first franchise outside. The main location is in the Branson area, and so Raymore was the first location outside of that main location to become a franchise. And they've done so well there in that first location. They have leased the building next door, which used to be a daycare facility, and they are actively improving that to become more of an open classroom space to start offering some classes to the community and also just have some additional space outside of their main location. So just over a year in business, and it's really good to see them already expanding and reinvesting into another building, which is always really good to see in our community. So in addition to that, there's some code enforcement activity. So it's been a very busy month of March and start to the year with the grass growing. Mr. Vogel's out and about quite a bit more this month and the next couple of months, I'm sure. So if there's any questions on other department activity, please let me know. And I wanted to point one more thing out. I hope I'm not putting him on the spot, but I'm sure he had something to say this evening as well. I wanted to hopefully be the first to wish our secretary, Commissioner Peterman, will be leaving the commission here as he moves out of the city. I've had the opportunity, and the commission has had the opportunity to work with him for the last several years, both as a commissioner and just as a very, very reliable secretary. He's always available on a moment's notice to come up and sign documents when he is needed, and we will definitely miss his presence here on our board, but we're happy that he's able to move out and be closer to his family and grandkids. We're sure they'll keep him really, really busy. So. And then last but not least, as the commission knew, both myself, Commissioner Fizer, and Mr. McCumber were at our APA conference last week, or 2 weeks ago, in Denver. So always another good opportunity to get out and see what else is going on across the country and network a little bit. So again, really appreciative of the council for providing that funding for all three of us to go and network and spend time at that conference. So that would conclude my staff report, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Do any members of the commission have any questions for city staff? Very good. We will move right along. Of course, I keep going back and forth in the PDFs, and I keep having to reload. So that would take us to item 10, public comment. I don't see any public, but if there's any public that would wish to come forward and make any public comments to the commission, we welcome you at this time. Seeing no one moving for that, we will move right along to commission member comments. I will start to my immediate left with Vice Chair Fizer.
Okay. First, Commissioner Peterman, we will miss you. You've been on this commission for a long time, so good luck with everything. And thanks to staff. I want to say a special thank you to the city for letting us go to the planning convention. It's always exciting, and I always try to tell everyone you should go if you can. I actually brought a prop. You get things like this if you go. And it was really, really fun. You get to pick out what you go to. So I went to a lot of seminars that had to do with like women in planning, which was kind of cool, and a lot of them that dealt with involving teenagers and kids in planning. So that was kind of interesting. Every single person that I that I talked to, and I said, "Oh, I'm a planning commissioner." They're like, "And your city sends you?" They all were like, "I'm going back to my town, and I'm going to tell them we should do this." So it's a great privilege. So if you ever get the chance, you should do it. Next year it's in Detroit, which doesn't sound exciting, but I was looking at Detroit, and Motown is there. I think there are a lot of car stuff there. I'm not sure what else, but anyway, if you Google it, you'll see lots of really cool pictures. So it looks exciting. So think about that for next year, Detroit. And that's really all I have to say.
Thank you. Commissioner Shanks.
Well, glad you had a great time. Secretary Peterman, been a privilege to be your right-hand man, literally. Congratulations on the election, Mayor.
Thank you.
And look forward to that next term and all the good things ahead of us in the city there. Thanks to staff for all the work that you guys do to put all these reports together for us and keep us on track. And I don't know if I'm forgetting anything or not, but I think that's all I can think of anyway.
Fair enough. Commissioner Smith.
Just appreciate the staff, all the information, keeping it timely. Commissioner Peterman, we're gonna miss you. So if you're in town, you know where to find us, so.
That brings me to, actually, I'm going to jump over to Commissioner Kia, and I'll let you, Mr. Peterman.
Yeah, I wonder what it says about me that my fellow ward tour is leaving again. I've outlasted a few now at this point, but you'll be missed, Commissioner Peterman. Appreciate everything you've done for us, and staff always appreciate your preparation for these meetings. And yeah, Mayor, congratulations on a well-fought election. And yeah, that's all.
I mean, I think there were like 13 write-ins, so.
There were.
Mayor Turnbow, sir.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Matt. You're a real
Wasn't
pal.
a dig? He said it was a
You're a real
rough
pal
fought,
there.
you know?
I just want to say to Mr. Peterman, thank you. It's been an honor and a privilege serving with you, sir. You've served with distinction. You really care about this community. It shows in the decision-making that you do every commission meeting. I also appreciate your input on other matters within the city, and it's been my honor to become a friend of yours as well. So thank you for your service, sir. It really has been a privilege serving with you. And thanks to the people of Raymore for re-electing me. And I hope to be able to serve next year. We make that decision at the next council meeting, whether I continue to serve. It's up to the council, or if another council member wishes to serve. So we'll see how that goes in a couple of weeks. But thanks again to staff for your preparation on this case. And I know it didn't take much time to get through it, but it is important work, and I appreciate that. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. I have a feeling there'll be less than 13 write-ins on that, that vote. Secretary Peterman, sir.
Well, thanks to the city for allowing me to participate at different levels. I've gained some friends. Always have enjoyed working with David and the mayor. Congratulations, Mayor, for your hopefully presence as a mayor again in the future. Anyway, this has been a pretty good adventure for me. It's probably taken me out of my league, which is good. I could use a little expansion on some things, but anyway, I appreciate everybody on here. Like I say, I've got to spend enough time to call people friends, so I thank everybody for hanging with me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to staff, as always, for everything that you do in preparing us for this meeting. Secretary Peterman, thank you so much for your service. It's I always forget how long I've been on the commission. It's 5, 6, whatever years, and you've been there the whole time. So thank you for everything that you've done. We will miss your presence here on the dais. Mr. Mayor, congratulations, sir, on your reelection. And the only other thing I would say is for those who celebrate, have a wonderful Easter this weekend. Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion to adjourn from Captain So Moved over here this evening. Very brief with his words. And second by Secretary Peterman. All in favor of adjournment? That will pass unanimously. We are adjourned. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.